I don't even know how this is going to work. Basically, just want to get on here and shoot the shit. Where the F is my drink, son? No bandwagon boys. No bandwagon boys, unfortunately. And those guys usually, those bandwagon boys, they carry it. The production value right now obviously isn't great. It looks like I'm holed up in some, I'm not arrested. I'm not detained. I'm full on just out of town working. Thought I'd hop on here and just do some live streaming. Maybe see if anyone hopped on. You know what? I might bounce off of the YouTube and maybe do an Instagram live. Instagram might be a little bit more few more people. Hey, what's up, dog? Armando, what's shaking? I tried getting on your guys's today. The bandwagon boys obviously aren't around. I just needed to talk Cowboys, bro. With the season coming up, I'm feeling frisky, and I just figured it's not as good as when BW1 is rolling the studio. But I'm out of town working. Figured I would get it rolling. Look at these boys. We got the Cowboys huddle basically here. If I wish I knew how to get you guys on here. I don't have the computer skills or the I don't have BW1 skills, but I'm just basically going to go on YouTube and talk some Cowboys, look at some Cowboys shit. Oh, I'm always cracking them, son. I don't stop cracking them. Some people might say that's an issue. I say it's my superpower. I was reading this article here, though. This main article, problem spots, finding competition for Tyler Biadasz. The Brock Lesnar looking, this guy definitely has to be somewhat Dutch or German descent. I'm not too sure if he is Dutch or German, but he's got the crew cut, and I'm sure he has the sword tattoo like Brock Lesnar. And he was a huge issue last year. 10 goddamn penalties. He was flagged for 10 fucking penalties. 21 Armando, you know it's a gift, son. But I don't know how. I wonder if I can get people on here using it from YouTube. I'm using YouTube to stream it, so I don't know how well that's going to work. I might hop over to Instagram, which I think will be a little bit more user friendly. I just don't really like the Instagram. Buy a bitch, more like it. What's the undrafted center that we took? There's an undrafted center that we picked up who's actually supposed to challenge him for some playing time. Let's see if we can figure this out here. Center, undrafted. Look at this shit. I don't got this set up very well. Undrafted center, Dallas Cowboys. 20 undrafted free agents agreed to terms with the Dallas Cowboys. And the biggest one, I would arguably say, the kicker, who's probably this kicker out of Texas, is probably going to be one of the bigger ones. But we got this center. Where the hell is he here? Scrolling up here. Scrolling up. 2022 undrafted free agents. Marquise Bell, heard a lot of good things about him. Malik Davis, running back, heard a bunch of good stuff about him. James Empey, center, BYU. That wasn't the guy. Oh, Alex Lindstrom. Alex Lindstrom's the dude that I heard about, and he's supposed to start fighting for it right away. I heard that too. I read McGovern might be playing center. I sure as fuck hope not. I kind of liked McGovern when he was rolling as a fullback. I thought that was kind of a cool situation to put the guy in. But McGovern at center, I don't know if I trust it, man. I don't know if I trust McGovern at center. I would rather, it's good to have competition, I guess. You don't want anyone going into training camp thinking they have this position on lockdown. But Connor McGovern at center, I don't like it at all, to be honest. I liked him at fullback, maybe 3 plays a game. I hated him at guard. I honestly, our offensive line as a whole last year just was not anything much to watch. Like, it's saying right here, penalties were a problem throughout the team, but especially at center with Tyler Biadasz getting flagged 10 times for the second most on the offense behind Connor Williams. Super glad Connor Williams is gone, by the way. Chris, let's get you hopping in center. I trust you at center over McGovern or this Tyler bitch. We're going to call him Tyler bitch. Maybe not. He wasn't that bad. Second most on the offense behind Connor Williams. However, there are other problems bigger than center, but the hope is the Cowboys can get better at this one spot one way or another. Who can fix it? It sounds like it's going to be someone already on the roster. Of course, Tyler will be looked at first, considering he's the incumbent starter, having started all 17 games last year and 4 more as a rookie in 2020. The hope is the Cowboys can continue to develop him as they did with Terrence Steele, who's now a starter at right tackle, if it's not Biadasz. The Cowboys might look to Matt Farniak or Connor McGovern. So like Armando was just saying, they might look at Connor McGovern, which I just do not like that idea. I don't think he would be a good center at all. Outside considerations, that's probably all they are at this point. Considerations, one of the best centers on the market is J.C. Treader, a veteran who's played in both Cleveland and Green Bay with Mike McCarthy, but he's yet to sign with any team at the moment. The Cowboys had a chance to draft the best center in the draft, whoever that was on their board, and chose not to at the number 24 pick. There were some speculation early that Iowa's Tyler Linderbaum would be a good fit, but he was on the board when the Cowboys picked, and that never seemed to be a serious option. In the post-draft press conference, Cowboys VP of Player Personnel, Will McClay, who I will say, my personal opinion is Will McClay. Since he's kind of been helping out and deciding who the Cowboys pick, he's really had a good eye for offensive linemen. So at first, when the Tyler Smith pick happened, I wasn't too stoked on it, but then you got to start thinking these guys have also drafted Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Lael Collins, who was good. Lael Collins was not a bad pick. He wasn't drafted. He was a free agent, but they still saw something in him. So when Cowboys fans are getting mad that we took Tyler Smith over the center, I got to go with Will McClay because he's really been so it was either Tyler Smith or Tyler Linderbaum, and McClay went with Smith. He wasn't even the Cowboys' top-rated center on their draft board. So I got to trust Will McClay. They completed an entire draft without even taking a center, suggesting that they didn't think any of the rookies were better options than what they've already got. Best guess based on what they've done and more importantly, what they haven't done is the Cowboys will continue to work Biadasz at center, hoping that his third-year development coupled with some help inside from Tyler Smith will be good enough. Well, it sounds good in theory that Farniak, McGovern, and maybe even these 2 rookie free agent centers, Alec Lindstrom from Boston College and James Empey from BYU, will get some work. The Cowboys will probably value the continuity even more, meaning Biadasz will get as much work with the number 1 unit as possible, and that's the best guess for week 1 starters against the Bucs. So that was the main article. If you search Dallas Cowboys today, was about our center. Talk about off-season blues right now. The hottest topic, if you Google Dallas Cowboys right now, is who's going to play center. That's the post-draft, pre-OTA type news you're going to get. You're not going to get much more excitement from that. Let's see what else we got here for Dallas Cowboys news. Regarding the 2021 NFL draft classes, Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins. So they're going back, and they're kind of PFF's kind of going over 2021 draft class, and they're saying the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins were among the biggest risers, which I can see that. I mean, we basically got Micah Parsons, who was an absolute stud. So here, let's go over our 2021 draft class here and see how some of these guys were. I know the round 2 right now is our round 2 pick from 2021 is a little bit hectic right now. Obviously, Kelvin Joseph, there's a lot of question marks, a lot of stuff that we don't know about. But round 1 at 12, linebacker, Micah Parsons, Penn State. Arguably, and I would definitely say arguably, if not just fact, that he was so far the best player in that draft. Micah Parsons at 12. The guy could have been a top 5. He should have been a top 3. We got him at 12. We actually gained a 3rd round pick. Right there, that draft to me, getting Micah Parsons is an A. Sure, we don't know what's going to happen for the rest of his career, but as of right now, Micah Parsons was a home run hit. I don't think anyone can argue that. Moving on. Round 2, pick 44, cornerback Kelvin Joseph. Which if him and Micah Parsons could be more opposites right now, Do you think we need more depth on linebacker? Yeah, you know what, Armando? I honestly thought that we should have went linebacker in the second round. There was a lot of good linebackers on the board still during the second round. I'm glad with who we got, Sam Williams. The more I read up about the guy, the happier I am with him. I do like that we took kind of a swing with Damone Clark in the 5th round because that guy could possibly be the steal of the draft. Lots of question marks still with Damone Clark. He had back fusion surgery. He might not even play this season. But if he ends up being the player the Cowboys think he can be, I think he could be the steal of the draft, to be honest. He's kind of like a Jalen Smith was when Jalen Smith got drafted. The only difference is we didn't give up a 2nd round pick to get him. We took a flyer on one of our 5th round picks to try to get him, which I think was a great choice. I thought Chris, I thought you were absolutely gonna kill somebody. I thought you were gonna give your computer screen a left hook. As far as the Deebo Samuel, Tony Pollard argument, it's hard to say. It's hard to say that Tony Pollard is the same player as Deebo Samuel because they haven't even had even close to the same success. Deebo Samuel, in my opinion, and this is just as a fan, Deebo Samuel can literally take over a game. He did it multiple times last year. He did it against us in playoffs. Deebo Samuel was the player to stop when we played San Francisco. I don't think I've seen Tony Pollard. Actually, the closest I've seen Tony Pollard do that was actually against San Francisco in 2020. The closest we've seen Tony Pollard be an absolute beast was against San Francisco in 2020, and their team was terrible. Like they weren't even they had so many injuries. I think they were the only team that had more injuries than the Dallas Cowboys at that point, and we know how many injuries we had. So to even put that game as a marker of what Tony Pollard can be, you can't even use that because it was basically against a practice squad, or it felt like it was against a practice squad. Whereas Deebo Samuel made our starting defense look like a fucking 2nd-tier team. And I was watching I was watching the Cowboys huddle. Shout out the Cowboys huddle, which was I was laughing that segment with you guys. Like, I don't have that big of an opinion between that argument to get as heated because I hope Tony Pollard can be a Deebo Samuel, but there's no proof of it yet. Sure, we could all hope Tony Pollard is going to be a Deebo Samuel, but there's no proof of that. You can start saying those, you can start staking that claim once he's given a starting role and produces like a Deebo Samuel. At this point, I don't think they're even comparable. Deebo Samuel is up here, Tony Pollard somewhere down here. And this doesn't mean I don't like Tony Pollard. I really like Tony Pollard as a player. I think he has a high ceiling. I don't know if it's as high as a Deebo Samuel. And that's where I'm going to stick with that. I kind of wanted us to try to pursue Deebo Samuel. I knew we weren't going to. We didn't have the cap space. We didn't want to pay Amari Cooper. We're happy. I think the front office is happy with who we're rolling with at wide receiver. But man, Deebo Samuel in this offense would have been something special. With saying that, I don't think our offensive coordinator knows what to do with a Tony Pollard or even at one more, a Deebo Samuel. It's like giving a kid keys to a Ferrari. I don't think Kellen Moore would be able to, one, figure out what to do with Deebo Samuel and utilize them. So it'd just be a waste of talent and money, which we're kind of seeing with Tony Pollard. Would love to see Tony Pollard get more snaps, though. 100%, without a doubt. Back to this, the 2021 draft class. Our 2021 draft class has huge possibility of taking huge steps this year. Obviously, Kelvin Joseph is kind of out indefinitely right now, or he's not out yet, but I don't think he's going to be playing. Our round 3 pick, Osa Odighizuwa, could be a beast. He actually, beside Micah Parsons, was probably our best rookie last year. And then you have Chauncey Golston, edge rusher. Didn't see much from him last year. Nashawn Wright, again, didn't see much from him last year. Our round 4 pick, who I'm actually super excited about. Armando had asked about our linebacking depth, I think Jabril Cox has a chance to be. I think Jabril Cox will supplant Leighton Vander Esch as our other linebacker that we're excited for this year. I was super excited to see Jabril Cox play last year. Unfortunately, he got banged up and it sucked, but he will be back this year, and I think he's going to come out with something to prove. I'm not a big fan of Leighton Vander Esch, so I don't even look at him as a depth player or a starting player. He had a decent game against San Fran in the playoffs, but I don't trust him. I don't trust Leighton Vander Esch. There's just too many times the guy has a chance at making a tackle and he just whiffs. Exactly. Like Mikey said, we can have all the spices, but that was actually a really good analogy. Your guys, Mikey there on Cowboys Huddle, he was saying best chef in the world, has everything you need, best kitchen, best ingredients, but just cannot make you a good tasting meal. And that's kind of like Kellen Moore. And I hope the one thing we do forget about Kellen Moore is he's still learning, right? Do you think LVE makes it the entire season? Oh, man. I hope LVE makes it the entire season. He has flashes. This is the thing. Leighton Vander Esch has flashes of being a great player. No, sorry, not great player. Leighton Vander Esch has flashes of being a half decent player, but then he also has flashes of playing scared. And I don't know if it's because of his injury past or what happened earlier in his career. Because his rookie season, I was like, him and Jalen Smith, I thought we had our two linebackers for the next 15 years. LVE truly sucks, makes tackles. Yeah, 8 yards down the field. Fuck. If he made tackles 8 yards down the field, I'd be happy. It's more like 16 yards down the field, or he just runs with the guy while he runs out of bounds because he's tired. I don't understand it. The guy doesn't have, you'll never see him make a tackle for a loss. You'll only see him jump in on a pile after the guy's basically down. Granted, he did have a good playoff game against San Fran, but that's one game. That's just not enough for me to be excited about him. But we did get him for cheaper than we would have if we picked up his 5th round option. So I don't totally hate that he's still around because I don't know, man. I remember going into last year thinking we had depth and we don't. He can. Cowboys Chris is on today. I love it. I wish I could have you guys on here right now. How do I do that? How do you guys do that shit? I'm going to see if I can get you guys in here. I'm going to try something here. Let me try something here. Create a poll. Yeah, with all 3 people on here. I'm just not very technology inclined here. I just felt like hopping on, talking some Cowboys, to be honest. The guys at Cowboys Huddle, Cowboys Chris and Armando, I was watching them and it got me all jacked up to just kind of hop on and shoot the shit about some Cowboys news. What else do we got in Cowboys world right here? 5 things we learned during training camp. Cowboys rookie Tyler Smith wouldn't let Blunt's disease slow his rise. What is this? I must have missed this today. Let's play this video. Walking off the practice field at the Star following rookie mini camp practice on Friday, Tyler Smith felt good about his performance. I won't even lie, I surprised myself sometimes, the Dallas Cowboys first rounder pick said after he lined up at left guard for the first time since his senior year at North Crowley High School in Fort Worth, Texas. Oh, shit. Cowboys Chris must love this guy. He's like a mini Cowboys Chris. Grew up in Fort Worth. Did you watch this guy play at all, Chris, or did you know about him quite a bit before? Which rookie am I excited to see? I'd probably say, just because of how much draft capital we got used to get them, like obviously you're excited to see the left guard Tyler Smith. I'm also excited to see Sam Williams. I think both those guys have a good chance at being good players. I'm also excited to see Tolbert. He played with my nephew. Did you end up watching him live at all? Fort Worth. I would love to watch some Fort Worth football, man. Some high school Friday Night Lights shit. I would love to see that. The closest we got. Wow, you watched him in high school. That's awesome, man. Texas fan. That's so cool. I'm jealous. I want to see some Friday Night Lights, Texas boys going at it. Like, you don't get that in Canada. I bet you I bet you there's some high school teams down in Texas that could beat some CFL teams up here in Canada, our professional league. I bet you if you took the best high school players in Texas and played against the CFL's best team, I bet you it would be competitive. I guaranteed college teams would 100% beat CFL teams without a doubt in my mind. But it would be funny to see high school players, like the best of the best high school players, play against the CFL. I mean, you might have that point like high school, you're what, 14 to 17 or 14 to 18, whereas the guys in the CFLs are adults. So maybe the size might not help. I watched your tailgate video from Thanksgiving. I couldn't stop laughing. Well, hey, you get ready because you're gonna be in the tailgate video for this Thanksgiving. So we basically already got it down. We're gonna go to Minnesota. It rang the crazy. That's awesome. That's hilarious. That's cool. That makes me like him more. I've been looking actually. I was talking to the guys. I think I'm gonna end up buying the. I like the blue jerseys. I got a blue Micah Parsons, but I think I'm gonna have to I like the blue ones better, but they never wear them. So, but I'll have to probably go with a white Tyler Smith. Never owned an offensive lineman jersey, but I think it's time. The last two rookie jerseys I bought a Zeke in 2016, and then I bought a Micah Parsons last year before I watched either of them play. Both of them had amazing rookie seasons. I'm going for the hat trick. But we are definitely going to be down in. We stayed in Fort Worth last time when we were down there in Thanksgiving. We'll probably do the same. Although I don't know how much we spent on Ubers, but it would be nice to stay in Arlington just to be close to the stadium and make travel to and from the game a little bit easier, because it is a little bit of a shit show with Ubers after the game and price wise. But I stayed in Arlington, I think in 2018 or 2017. I liked Fort Worth way better than Arlington, to be honest. Haven't stayed in Dallas at all, but stayed in Fort Worth twice, Arlington once. I think Fort Worth is up here in Arlington's. So Fort Worth is like Deebo Samuel, and Arlington's like Tony Pollard. Can we call you Dallas Cowboy Chris Uber? I gotta grab a drink here, fellas. I'll be back in a sec here. So, I know I don't got AJ or Adam, the bandwagon boys, but we're still gonna crack them if we got them. And it's not like I'm drinking by myself, because I got Chat, I got Cowboys Chris, I got 21 Armando, both legit guys from the Cowboys huddle. Love those guys. Super cool dudes. Can't wait to meet up with them a couple times next year before the Thanksgiving Day game. So do you guys go to the Thanksgiving Day game, or do you guys tailgate, or do you guys just hang out in Chris's man cave there? Who do we got here? We got Anderson Witt. What's up, bro? How you doing? Anything you want to talk about? You got two Cowboy diehards in the chat right now. 21 Armando and Dallas Cowboys Chris. We're just kind of shooting the shit, talking about Tyler Smith, talking about Sam Williams, talking about the last year's draft picks. We're talking about a plethora of shit. Crack them if you got them, son. That's how we do it. Away from work, I mean, the only thing I can do to drown my sorrows is drink and talk about football. So I want to just quickly talk about, unless I'm a Cowboy diehard also. Okay, Anderson, we're going to ask you something here. Because we just talked about it, who was your favorite rookie pick from the draft this year, from the 2022 draft? Give me your favorite pick. I'm waiting, brother. Let's hear it. Well, Anderson Witt's figuring out his favorite player here. I'm going to go back just here and talk about Tyler Smith's, what'd they call it? Tyler Smith wouldn't let Blunt's disease slow his rise. I missed this somehow today. Smith always believed he would end up here, maybe not with the Cowboys, but he was in middle school or high school when he told his mother, Patricia, his goal. I just remember him saying, Mom, I want to play at the highest level. I want to play in the NFL. She said, I told him I was behind him 100%. We got a couple O-linemen in the chat here. 21 Armando, I'm going for sure, and we're in talks to have a big tailgate. Hell yeah. Well, we love tailgating, and we're going to be cracking them. You're going to have the, what is it? Big chains, big hat for the big guy. Cowboys Chris's belt's going to be around. I stay at home with a grill full of turkey legs, but I tailgate for Thanksgiving. We're going to be down there early because we're doing the Minnesota game on the Sunday night. We're going to go to Minnesota for the Minnesota game the Sunday night prior to Thanksgiving. So we'll probably be down in Fort Worth / Arlington / Dallas, wherever we end up staying. My guess is probably Fort Worth again, but we're going to be down there probably, my guess is Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. We're all going to meet up. We're all going to crack some beers. We're all going to have a good time. It's 100%. We got to sign that wall. Got to sign that wall. Armando, how far are you from Fort Worth? Like, how far is El Paso from Fort Worth? I'm ignorant when it comes to Texas geography. Is it like a couple hours or what? Okay, I need to figure out what this Blunt's disease here. Smith's path from North Crowley to the Cowboys and a guaranteed $13.38 million contract was far from easy. It was nearly stopped by Blunt's disease, a condition that affects the growth plates of the shin bone around the knee and causes severe bow-leggedness. The condition is rare, affecting less than 1% of the population, according to the Cleveland Clinic. At 16, Smith was diagnosed with the disease. Let me put it like this. There's not much more things as painful in life, Smith said. After visiting with a handful of specialists, Smith and his mom decided he needed surgery. It needed to be done to improve his quality of life, his mother said. Dr. Lauren Lamont was one of the surgeons involved with Smith's care. She said that even at 16, Smith's size, approximately 6'5" and 300 pounds, 9 hours. Brad Beers, Kilo C, Brad Beers, what's up, guys? What's going on? We don't got the bandwagon boys here tonight. I'm basically holed up in a hotel for work, and I watched Dallas Cowboys Chris and 21 Armando 21 hopping down on their YouTube Live, and I had to go for it. I had to get YouTube Live going, and I just wanted to kind of go over some Cowboys news and see what was going on. But I'm glad you guys are stopping by. Make me feel less lonely in this hotel. Like I said, the only things that can help a hotel life, well, my girlfriend's not here, so that's not going to help. So 3 things. She's not here, so we're not going to count her. I hope she's not watching. Cowboys talk and alcohol. And we're doing both those right now. Tyler Smith, bow-leggedness, 6'5", 300 pounds at 16 years old. What kind of 16? What the hell are you guys eating in Fort Worth, Chris? I see your ass. How big were you when you were 16? Like, you're a monster of a human. And then you get this dude. You got hot wiener? Wiener or buns or mustard? Which one? I need to know. Brad Breers, are you talking about the wiener, the bun, or the mustard? Because I could go for that right goddamn now, to be honest. But Dr. Lauren Lamont was one of the surgeons involved with Smith's care. She said that even at 16, Smith's size, approximately 6'5" and 300 pounds, made it a challenge to examine him on the pediatric size tables at Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth. But she also remembers how inquisitive he was regarding the surgery and frame correction, asking questions many teenagers wouldn't. When I first met Tyler and his mom, they let me know how important football was to Tyler. Had Tyler not had surgery, he would have been at higher risk for degenerative knee conditions to occur earlier in life and possibly shorten the time he could play football. 3 days after the final game of his junior year, he had an osteotomy, which included having an external fixator bolted to his lower left leg to stabilize the bones that were broken and realigned. Smith had to wear a fixator for 4 months. That's some Forrest Gump shit. That's some straight up Forrest Gump shit. And this guy is now in the NFL. So he definitely overcame a bunch of stuff to end up being in the NFL. And not even to be in the NFL, but to be a first overall pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Chris, 6'2", 265 pounds, plays center on varsity at 16. It's a beef state, a lot of steaks. Well, how big are you now? You're taller than 6'2" now. There's no way you're only 6'2" now. I felt like when you were at the draft, I was staring up. I felt like a little kid. I was just like looking up at you, and it's like you just had your Cowboys belt rolling around. I was like, God damn, we could have started our own team. We had you at center. I probably would be a solid on offense. I'd probably be a solid guard, minus my size. Armando would have been at 6'3", 330 pounds. That's what I like to see. I think we could have, between the guys that were at the draft, between Sneaky G-Man, besides him being a Giants fan, we could have had him on the line. I could have been on the line. You could have been on the line. Armando in the back at running back. And then, unfortunately, our Doug I'm going to call Adam our Doug Flutie. Bandwagon Boy 1 would have been our quarterback, our undersized quarterback that just ran around, thrown up. He's the pretty boy. Bandwagon Boy 1. Adam's the pretty boy, so he would have to be quarterback because he's not getting dirty. I'd be the okay, yeah, no, Armando, you're running back 100%. Can Alex throw a ball? He's left-handed. Sneaky G's a former quarterback. Wow, really? I can't wait to see all you guys down in Texas because I'm gonna get Sneaky G to throw me a fucking bomb at Cowboy Stadium. And I'm going to catch it. I'm going to throw a touchdown, and I'm going to dance on it. Alex, I think Alex, Bandwagon Boy 2, would be more of a slot receiver. He'd get in the slot. What we're missing right now, we're missing a rangy. We need a wideout, and I don't know who we out of our group of guys. I don't know who would have a wideout. None of us have those skills as a wide receiver, to be honest. None of us are really tall. Want to see me throw this football over the mountains? Squeaky Pete was a QB, really. That's crazy to me, to be honest. Okay, what else do we got in Cowboys Nation here? Cowboy fans alarmed over rocky offseason. NFL observers, not so much. Yeah, but when are we happy about the offseason? That's my question. To chat right now, when was the last time we were actually happy about an offseason? I remember people being not mad that we drafted Micah Parsons, but like not happy. I mean, obviously last year I was one of the fans that wanted Patrick Surtain, but when we missed out on him, I immediately wanted to draft Micah Parsons. Cowboy fans as a whole, though, like I'm trying to think of the last time we drafted and all of us were happy. I'm trying to think of players. CeeDee Lamb, everyone, and I'm just thinking first round right now. CeeDee Lamb, everyone was happy with. Des Bryant, people were happy with. It's like we all want that sexy position. Papa G played wide receiver, Cole Beasley, but black. I guaranteed he's not like Cole Beasley, but black because I like Papa G. I like Papa G. Cole Beasley drives me fucking nuts. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. He's similar build, similar style, but fuck Cole Beasley, in my opinion. That guy drives me absolutely bonkers. People talking about wanting him to come back on the team when that he's a free agent. I don't know. Drives me crazy. You didn't like the Zeke pick? I honestly love the Zeke pick. I'm one of those fans that's just always happy with our pick. Like at the draft, they picked Tyler Smith. I'm like, Tyler Smith? And I was still cheering because I'm just one of those guys. I believe the front office, for all their shortcomings, are going to draft someone better than I'm going to ever pick in my life. You know, I could swing for a fence and possibly hit on one, but Cole Beasley music. Sometimes I'm in my feelings. Sometimes I'm not. It's like literally, it sounds like a child wrote it. And I hate to admit that I've played it in my truck driving home from work. in my own personal time, I have played that song, and I actually don't mind it. But Cole Beasley as a human and as a human, he's a decent football player, to be honest. But let's see here. What do we got here? This is talking about while Cowboys fan base is alarmed over rocky offseason, NFL isn't so much worried. Like, they mean NFL fans? The Cowboys want to keep the versatility that helped Parsons win the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year award. Owner Jerry Jones has referred to Parsons' position as a Micah player. I don't disagree with that. He can be a linebacker. He can be a pass rusher. Had the Cowboys not selected Sam Williams in the second round, they would have kept the plan in place. But Williams presents the Cowboys and Parsons with more options. Williams goes into pass rush pool with DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, and Dante Fowler Jr. Parsons can continue to move between positions with ease, especially with Leighton Vander Esch's return via free agency and Jabril Cox's return from injury. I don't disagree with any of that. Parsons has to be one of those guys that's just kind of like, I know that they didn't play the same position, but you get those players like an Ed Reed, or you get those players like in the NFL right now, like Tyrann Mathieu. Like, those guys are guys that they don't have a position. They roam and they get put in the best situational position, where I think Micah Parsons needs to be that kind of player. Micah Parsons isn't, okay, you're a linebacker, you're going to play weak side or middle linebacker or strong side. Micah Parsons is a guy that Dan Quinn needs to take and needs to blitz him and needs to move him and keep the offenses guessing what they're going to do with the dude, because he's just that damn explosive and electric. Like, Micah Parsons, damn, man, I cannot wait to watch that dude play. They are, okay, what else do we got here? They are fourth in the NFC, which is probably about right, since they are likely the weakest of the projected division winners in the conference. The LA Rams are the favorites in the NFC, ranked second overall, and are projected to win the NFC West. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the third overall and are projected winners of the NFC South. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are sixth overall and are the favorites in the NFC North. That was really the state of affairs before the Cowboys started shedding players and after Tom Brady decided to return. The free agency period, the loss of some starters, and the overall view of the draft haven't really moved the Cowboys' positioning. They even rank a spot higher than the foe that started this dark clouds period, the 49ers. They come in at 9th. So, like, who are they? I'm confused, like, where these polls are coming about with fans. You know, they have these polls and talking about all this shit, but who are these actual fans that they're asking this shit to? Like, I'm confused. Does everyone, because every fan I talk to online, or I should say, every fan that beaks me and talks shit to me that I then return the shit talking, always tells us how shitty we're going to be. So I'm confused where this poll comes from. Obviously, this is just an opinion poll, so we can't take it as gospel, but it does show the view of the NFL media. Okay, they're going with NFL media that aren't biased by their Cowboys fandom or hatred, just neutral, informed observers. So we take it as it is, one perspective. But from another view, one that is based on some kind of statistical formula, the Cowboys do even better. The Football Power Index is yet another system of mixing stats to come up with some form of power ranking. So just how does that work? Well, I feel like they're about to tell us here. Nate Dogg, 49ers should be one. Nate, as you can tell, I'm without the bandwagon boys tonight. I'm just sitting here in the hotel talking football and drinking by myself. I know it sounds very depressing, but it's better than sitting and masturbating and watching Netflix. So we're up there. But so how does this work, this power ranking? It is our predictive model that includes ratings and projections for every NFL team, from how good they are on defense to what their chances are of winning their division. During the offseason, ESPN Analytics executed an overhaul of the model, and full description of changes and improvements can be found at the bottom. One key change to point out, the preseason version of the FPI has been, this sounds like AJ stuff, bored, moving on. There's way more detailed version of how the more model talk, moving past. What do we got here? That's the whole article. Wow. Well, that was a banger. Nate, what are the 49ers finishing next year? And Nate Dogg, we actually have a question. they kind of base themselves off of last year, 100%. And you can't do that, in my opinion. So, chat, we got Nate Fredrickson in the chat, who's actually going to be on the Decade episode next week on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Diehard 49ers fan, been to a bunch of games. He's a legit dude, minus liking the 49ers. Nate Dogg, question for you. Is Tony Pollard even half the player that Deebo Samuel is? And I know you might think Deebo Samuel's a bitch right now because of the whole fact that he doesn't want to play for your terrible team, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on Tony Pollard / Deebo Samuel conversation. But while you're doing that, we're going to see what other news we got going on here. NFC East projected starters for the 2022 season. Eagles built to contend. I don't really care about that. Let's see what else we got for more news. I wish I could screen share with you guys. Cowboys rookie Tyler Smith, read that. Cowboys fan base, read that. Aaron Andrews. Sorry, my girlfriend just texted me a picture of her friend doing double chins with my face on the TV in the background. That is funny. I definitely wish I was screen sharing stuff right now. Aaron Andrews, my toughest call in Monday night move, says Icon Troy Aikman. Not going to do that either. That sounds boring. Not interested. What's chat saying here? Dallas Cowboys Chris is looking all squiggly-eyed. He's getting all crazy again with this talk. Bored, moving on. Yeah, bored, moving on. Cowboys, Damone Clark says medical issue was discovered by Dallas ahead of the 2022 NFL Combine. Let's dive into this shit right here. This guy just looks like a baller, too. This Damone Clark, he just looks like a dude that will fuck you up. Huge risk, yes, but also potentially huge reward. This is how to view the Dallas Cowboys' decision to select linebacker Damone Clark in the 2022 NFL Draft after the former LSU standout was still available in the 5th round due to a medical issue. That issue involved Clark's neck. With the 20, this guy's only 21. Holy shit! That guy's only 21. Crazy. That's a man though. He's a 21-year-old man. The issue involved Clark's neck, with the 21-year-old having undergone spinal fusion surgery following the discovery of a herniated disc in the pre-draft process at the 2022 NFL Combine. That sounds terrible. Herniated disc in your back. Coincidentally or not so much, it was the Cowboys medical staff that found the issue, and it is now they who will oversee his rehab back to the field. As he joins his fellow rookies and returning veterans at the team's headquarters to truly dig into his rehab, he thinks back on just how surreal the entire chain of events really was. The crazy thing is, at the Combine, Dallas medical staff was the one that told me, Clark said. When they told me, I was shocked. I'm like, whoa, maybe y'all got the wrong person. Unfortunately for Clark, they were spot on, and as such, he made the difficult decision to undergo surgery despite feeling no ill effects of the disc issue at the time. Wow, that's crazy. So you got to really trust these dudes. So he basically put yourself in this situation. You're Damone Clark. You're basically going to be making millions either way. You're touted as this high. I'd say he was probably a fringe two. This is also just for me reading about him after he got drafted. So don't take this as gospel. But he was a fringe 2nd round pick. But then he had this surgery and he instantly started falling out of 2nd round money, out of 3rd round money, out of 4th round money, out of 5th round money. What's your honest take on the schedule? Okay, let's shift gears here. I like this question. No bandwagon boys, Kilo. Those guys, they're hanging out back home. Oh, well, AJ's in Vietnam doing who fucking knows what. Adam is hanging out with his family. I'm unfortunately out of town working, so I decided I was actually 21 Armando and Cowboys Chris. They were doing their podcast earlier, and I decided I just wanted to hop on and shoot the shit and talk some Cowboys football and just kill some time, to be honest. But what's your honest take on the schedule? I think it's a hard schedule, man. Here, let me pull up the schedule. Let's pull up the schedule here. You're going to see me reaching over here. Cowboys schedule. Okay. got this shit up here. Let's scroll down here for a second. Okay, so obviously we start the season off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not an easy game by any means, right? No one thinks Tampa Bay, anytime you play Tom Brady, have the Cowboys ever beat Tom Brady? And negative. The Cowboys have never beat Tom Brady. So that's never going to be an easy game. Then you're playing literally the runner-ups in the Super Bowl. So our first two games, and I don't care how easy your schedule, you're playing two Super Bowl contending or possibly contending teams. And then if you go 0-2, everyone knows the statistic of your chances of making playoffs if you start off 0-2. Slim to nil, honestly, to making the Super Bowl or even the playoffs if you start playoffs at 0-2. Those two games are not easy teams. Then our next two games are divisional games where we play the Giants and the Commanders, winnable games. So I'm going to kind of steamroll this a little bit. I don't think the Cowboys schedule is easy by any means. Sure, it might not be the hardest according to the dorks that work for media companies that crunch these numbers about last year, but it's not last year. It's going to be 2022. It's a whole new year. Every team has to play 17 NFL teams. The Cowboys are no different. The Cowboys have to play 17 NFL teams with 53 NFL players on the roster, and anything can happen on Sunday. So I think the strength of schedule thing is a bunch of horse shit, to be honest. It seems like every year they're talking about how easy the Cowboys schedule was, and it just drives me fucking bonkers, to be honest. But hey, guys, my laptop here is about to die. You guys all made my fix of Cowboys football. I got my fix of Cowboys football for the night, so I'm gonna peace out here. I don't have the Cowboys anthem to play out. I don't have the bandwagon boys to play us out. I don't see where we have an easy schedule. The only easy opponents, Armando, that we possibly have are the NFC East, and they all got way better. So I mean, there really isn't an easy. I don't see an easy schedule either. Maybe Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's better this year. We also played Detroit, but Detroit's going to be better than they were last year. It's all hearsay. Like, you can say this about anything. You can say this about a player last year, how good they were, how bad they were. It doesn't matter. But hey, guys, have a good night. Love talking to you guys. Sunday, we're going to be live streaming back in studio with the guys, obviously way higher production value. And then you have the bandwagon boys, which they bring a lot to the table. Those guys are awesome. But we'll see you guys then. Peace.